Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Chandler, the Geek Slays, and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast, episode 80. We got Judo Chop back. Oh, it's not Judo Chop anymore. I'm sorry. I do that. I not used to that yet.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing we're going to talk about is he's going to try to tell me how good Zach Wilson is and how wrong I was. Going to have a good conversation about that, I'm sure. But yeah, how you doing, Judo?
I'm doing great, bro. Doing great. No complaints.
Other than a few technical issues, but those
Yeah,
happen. Alec with the sub, I appreciate it.
that's true.
Yeah, very, very interesting. So, tell me about your man, Zach Wilson.
Zach, the man Wilson. You know what, man? What really bothers me is the fact that he's getting called overrated. Zach Wilson is him. He's gonna hit his rookie stride pretty soon. His preseason is looking really great. You like that?
No.
His preseason's looking really good. I mean, I'm not hearing much about that from the haters, but he's gonna he'll have his speed, hit his rookie speed bump and along the way. But I think he's gonna be good, man. Like, he's got good instincts, and his arm is good enough for the league, and I mean, he's gonna be okay. I like the line that he's got, and I think they're gonna run it heavy this year. So
I will give you this. His arm is definitely better than Mac Jones.
oh my God,
dude. Okay, so
that's still a shot.
That's still a shot. Okay, Zach Wilson, his arm isn't better than Justin Fields or Trey Lance or Trevor Lawrence. So
what's that matter? It's good.
No, that's all I'm saying is it's better than Mac Jones, whose arm is awful. The fact that the Patriots are about to give Mac Jones that starting job annoys me so much.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, they're using apparently the sources have said that Mac Jones is going to win the starting job. I don't know how, but I don't know. If you watch Mac Jones play right now, every throw he makes, even if it's a 3-yard screen pass, the ball dies before it gets to its receiver. Like, it'll look like it's on a line to him, and then a yard away from him, it just drops to the floor because he isn't great.
You're big into arm strength.
Okay, the issue is he doesn't have NFL arm strength. He has a weak arm, and that is going to be a problem. When you have to fit a ball into a tight window and you can't actually get it there, you're going to throw interceptions that you shouldn't have. You're going to throw interceptions that a guy like Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, just in your draft class, wouldn't throw because they could get the ball where it needed to be. I think that's going to be a problem. I mean, how many guys have been super successful having a very weak arm?
Yeah, watch him come November, December when the East Coast weather kicks in.
Yeah. That's going to be a problem. I really think so.
How's his accuracy?
See that? So I saw a post today that made me laugh. It was just that Mac Jones is opposite of Cam Newton because of their name, Mac and Cam, it's reversed. But then I figured it out. No, they're the opposite in every way. Cam is super athletic. Mac Jones is very unathletic. Cam has a huge arm. Mac Jones doesn't. Cam's not super accurate. Mac Jones is very accurate. He just can't get the ball to where it needs to be, really. So his accuracy is great, but that's all he's got. And I don't think that's good enough for what the Patriots want to be.
See, when I think of like an East Coast quarterback with good accuracy, it kind of reminds me, and a noodle arm, it kind of reminds me of Chad Pennington. So,
And that didn't really work out the best.
yeah, it did. His injuries were his problem. Dude's like the most accurate. He's got one of the highest accuracy stats in the whole league ever. He just had injury problems.
But I don't know.
I mean,
I just, my biggest thing going back to Zach Wilson is, first, can we not overhype the preseason? I don't want to underhype it either and act like he's been playing poorly or that it completely doesn't matter. But the idea that because he played well in a preseason game, he's already the best quarterback in his draft class, we need to tone that down a bit.
Come on. You were, before the preseason started, he couldn't hang in the league, or he was overrated.
Okay.
BYU defenses.
He was not worth the third pick, or was he the second pick?
Second pick.
Yes. He's not on that level. I don't see it. That doesn't mean he's going to be bad, but okay, is he going to have a better career than Trey Lance and Justin Fields?
That man is playing Galaga.
Very much possible.
Thought we wouldn't notice.
Very quite possibly. Quite possibly could.
Doing with the host, I appreciate it.
Trey Lance isn't looking too hot in the preseason.
He's not looking bad. But, I mean, Zach Wilson is going to have the same struggle that a guy like Sam Darnold had, where the team's still not built around him yet. So he's going to struggle this year. He has a rookie head coach. We don't know if he's a good head coach or not. We can speculate one way or the other, but we have no idea. I don't know who their offensive coordinator is. Do you? I'm sure you do, but...
Yeah, LaFleur.
Oh, right. But, I mean, he's not being put in the best position. A guy like Trey Lance might come out and start his career better than Zach Wilson because he's in a better position. We know who Kyle Shanahan is. We know that the Niners' offensive line is good. We know that they have good weapons. Not great weapons, but they have good weapons. That, Corey Davis would be the fourth wide receiver on the 49ers roster, and he's the best wide receiver on your roster. That is going to make an impact. The issue will come down to, will the Jets actually stick with Zach long enough to have it make a difference?
That's a legitimate point.
Will they give him more than 2 years or 3?
What looks like they're not trying to put him in the best position possible. That's compared to Darnold. I feel like this is a thing to like how they handled Darnold in the past, because he's recent. They didn't give Darnold any weapons. Le'Veon Bell aside,
Right.
They didn't. I mean, Crowder was cool, but nothing. No dominant.
Special weapons, no.
Yeah, nothing. No tight end. No number one receiver. They didn't. That line was horrendous. They like patched. They just put they put band-aids in there, like veteran, like journeyman as the O-line. This I mean the last year they had Darnold, they drafted Becton in the first round, who's a stud. Yep. They this year in the draft they made a trade with your Vikings, bumped up and got Vera Tucker. Yep. So that left side solidified. They got what's the dude's name? Moses from the Redskins. He's on the right tackle. I mean they're making moves. Who's Corey Davis not better than on the Niners receivers?
Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Oh God, what is that other guy's name?
That's subjective, bro.
No, it's not.
Deebo?
Deebo has had a really good career so far.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just to say like he's their fourth receiver. He's the fourth string receiver if he was over there.
I'm gonna go with yeah. That's where I'd put him. I think maybe third. I don't know. Mohamed Sanu is still good, but I'd actually give Corey Davis over Mohamed Sanu now. So okay, he'd be the third best receiver, but we're also forgetting the Niners' biggest weapon, George Kittle. nobody on
Yeah.
the Jets is close to George Kittle.
Give us time.
Right. But that's the thing. I need to give the Jets time, but are the Jets going to give Zach Wilson time?
Yeah. We've
Are
got
they?
we got two first round picks coming up this year, courtesy of Jamal Adams. We got you know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna be in a prime position to get a weapon.
Sure. I'm not saying you're not in a prime position, but okay,
What?
so let's say Zach comes out this year and looks good. Shows flashes of really great stuff, still has his rookie issues, which all of the guys are going to have, right? Next year, let's say he misses time with something, right?
Yeah.
Injuries or just whatever thing. Because it could happen. Because I'm just saying, what if the career paths start the same way as Darnold's did? Shows flashes his first year, misses so much time his second year, and then in his third year, hasn't really progressed past year one. The Jets are going to move off of him.
I think that the Jets are showing that they're learning from the past mistakes, and that's a reason for hope.
Sure.
So, I mean, as far as assuming what all these scenarios could play out, I'm going to put the benefit of the doubt on the Jets because they look like they're making the opposite decisions of what they had made in the past with Darnold. I don't think that they want to repeat that. So we'll see. And like I said, they have tools to take care of that in the future. With, like I said, with draft capital, their salary cap is in good shape.
Yep.
So we'll see.
That's my thing, is it is a we'll see, and I tend to lean towards the side of history because the Jets have been this way for a long time. I don't know why. I don't know exactly why, but I'm gonna
Adam Gase, bro. It's called Adam Gase, and it's called your owner that it was overseas doing something with I don't know what he was doing with he was an ambassador for the United States. So I mean a lot of that,
Judo.
man. You know what, they tend to be successful when he's around. His younger brother was running the show and didn't do so well. They got one thing I don't like is they got a weird philosophy with how they do things, like with their front office.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I don't want to try to be super discouraging. I just think it's more of a
I like this thing.
Yo, Dizzy with the sub, I appreciate it. I just think err on the side of caution. They do actually seem to have helped Zach Wilson already more than they ever did Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's coming into the league with way better weapons than Darnold ever got. So that is a good sign. They have at least tried to help this kid have a shot. My question is, will they continue to help him, or do they give up eventually because he doesn't come out as Patrick Mahomes right away?
Yeah.
Because that's a worry. I mean, it's a lot of teams give up on their young quarterbacks very quickly now.
Yeah, look at Drew Lock.
Right. See, I don't think that one's very quickly. He's had 2 full years as a starter, and he's been below average.
Has it been 2?
2 years on the team. Last year he dealt with injuries. The year before, technically, Case Keenum beat him out for the starting job. But then,
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
Yo, Dizzy with the rate of 9. I appreciate you, my guy.
Okay.
But he, in every chance he's had, he has underwhelmed. And I think that his inconsistencies are the reason he lost the starting job. The man has an insane amount of talent. Arm strength-wise, he's ahead of the curve, but he is the least accurate starting quarterback in the league. Teddy Bridgewater's completion percentage is 16 points better than Drew Lock's.
Mm-hmm.
with the weapons they have, at least Teddy can actually get the ball to them, and that's what the Broncos are counting on. I think with Drew, if you keep Drew Lock, you're hoping that he can play more consistent, and maybe your ceiling is higher. But Teddy Bridgewater's consistency, especially with the way that defense is going to be and the weapons they have, they're a Super Bowl contending team right now, which I don't know if I could actually say if they pick Drew Lock.
Yo, going back like to April, would you still take Surtain over Fields through Denver?
See, yes, because at the time, I'm pretty sure the Aaron Rodgers deal was almost done. Like, I think they were about to trade for Aaron Rodgers. That's the only reason they didn't pick a quarterback, is because they were banking on Aaron Rodgers, and that just didn't turn out.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah, sports.
I never heard he was almost to Denver.
Oh yeah, it was close. And I don't know what changed, but it was close. And if I'm Denver, I'm 100% taking the best cornerback in the draft over the possibility of a quarterback. Because, I mean, if you take Justin Fields, right, would he ever end up playing on that team? I don't know how much longer Aaron Rodgers has. But if by the time Justin Fields' rookie contract is up, Aaron Rodgers just retired, would you pay the guy you've never seen play? I don't know how you'd go about that. There's a hole in my mouth.
Everyone's
apparently.
big on Fields, man. We'll see. We'll see.
I wanted the Vikings to draft Justin Fields, but the Bears jumped us, so tough.
Yeah. That would have been a nice one.
I think I'm gonna switch it to the Vikings. You think it's prove it year for Kirk Cousins?
I feel like last year wasn't. Not gonna lie.
See, I want to say the same thing, but I think our team had way too many injuries to actually try to make it on.
He's
Kirk.
got a pass for a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then
nobody could have succeeded with that team last year.
Well, according to that, then yeah.
Because I see it as
He's been there a while, man.
Yeah.
Been like what, 4 years?
something like that. Yeah. Something pretty close to that.
Yeah, that's
2018. I guess this will be 4. Yeah. Made the playoffs
Jeez.
once and won a playoff game. But I think this is the year where ownership, the GM, even Mike Zimmer sit down and say he has to get us back to the NFC Championship game, which is where we were without him and with Case Keenum, who is not a better quarterback, maybe a better fit for the team, but not a better player.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't get us to the NFC Championship game, I think he's gone.
That's the bar to make right there. The NFC Championship game.
Yeah. If he
Okay.
can't at least get us back to where we were, he's gone.
Completely different roster. 4 years later, he's got to mark that match. Okay.
See, the thing is, yes, it's a completely different roster, but honestly, I think it's a better roster right now. Like right this second, I think our roster's better than it was in 2017. What's good, Hydra?
Yeah.
Where's my buttons? There we go.
So are you pumped up for the NFL season?
Oh, I'm so pumped.
Are you doing fantasy football?
I am in one league right now.
Mm.
Hail Hydra!
I'm actually doing a streamers one if you're interested in getting
Yeah,
in it.
we talked about that a little bit on your stream the other night.
Okay.
We'll have to see how everything's going.
Okay.
But
It's
a good choice.
what about
Smoking's
Madden? You
great.
liking it?
It's better than last year's, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. Oh, so Wonder's asking me what I think about my current fantasy team. That league, I got so lucky.
What'd you get?
So first of all, a bunch of people just didn't show up at the beginning of the draft.
Oh,
So
nice.
their teams started to get auto-drafted.
Great.
And then Wonder and another one of our friends picked quarterbacks in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great choice. So my team is Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, DeAndre Hopkins, CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts, Josh Jacobs, the Rams defense, and Robbie Gould, with Mike Davis, Mike Gesicki, Corey Davis, and Marquez Callaway off the bench.
It's a balanced team.
And
That's really run oriented.
yeah, it really is. DeAndre, I think, is going to do great this year, and then Lamar is the best quarterback you can draft in fantasy football.
No, he's not. That's Allen.
Yes, no, not a shot. How is it Josh Allen? I'm intrigued.
I mean, we're talking 2021, not 2020, right?
Yeah, we're talking this coming year.
Yeah. Look at the stats, man. Last year,
Yeah.
he was a higher fantasy value quarterback than Lamar was.
Okay. My biggest thing is going to be, I don't think Josh Allen can perform at the exact same level
That's
as
a good
last year.
question.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to regress terribly, but him and Diggs aren't going to combine for, what was it, 25 touchdowns? Because I think Diggs caught 19.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can do that. The team doesn't have a running game, so everything will be on Allen's shoulders. But when Diggs is his only weapon, they're going to triple cover Stephon Diggs because we shut him down. We shut down their offense.
But
so other guys are going to end up getting more time, more catches, more touchdowns than what happened last year.
We'll see.
That's just my thoughts, I guess.
I'm actually ordering me Zach Wilson jersey. Back to Zach. This is the Zach Wilson
God.
show.
Oh, God.
I'm getting that all black one, though. It's pretty nice.
Wonder wants to know my thoughts on his team, so I got to go find his team now.
What's he got? Let's see.
I'll tell you. Hold on. I got to find his. Okay. So he's got Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Chris Edmonds. I'm taking a shot in the dark there. The running back for Arizona. Then he's got Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, George Kittle, Logan Thomas, maybe? A wide receiver or a running back for Washington. I can't tell who that is. Yeah, Logan Thomas. A tight end, actually, is at his flex position. That's weird. And then Tampa Bay's defense, Justin Tucker. And then he's got Dak Prescott, Michael Gallup, and Jonnu Smith off the bench. Oh, and Damian Harris. Yeah. That is a pass-heavy team if I have ever seen one.
Right?
Jeez. Because Eckler and Edmonds are not giving you much most of the time. Eckler actually might because he's such a good receiving back. But he's not. I don't know. That's an interesting fantasy team. But yeah, his first round draft pick was Josh Allen. Which I got Lamar in the third round. So
yeah, I mean, unless maybe Mahomes, you know?
I wouldn't even go Mahomes in the first round.
I know, that's true.
Quarterbacks third round is when you pick those four guys, though. Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Patty Mahomes, and Josh Allen. You pick them in the third round, it makes sense. They're going to be the four highest performing fantasy quarterbacks. So I get that one. But yeah, first round's tough because you really limit yourself everywhere else. Because every good running back's gone by the end of the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, my first two picks were Dalvin Cook and Joe Mixon. Because I think Mixon's going to have a hell of a year if he can stay healthy.
Man, I'm burned on that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. interesting.
Yeah, I've said that so many times with that guy.
Yeah, fair. I'm still a Joe Mixon, okay, kind of fan, but I don't know. I think it could be really good. It could be terrible. We'll see. I don't know what I'm supposed to drop, but okay. Mixon has
Drop
never
it.
done well for me. Yeah, because he was supposed to be the best player on your fantasy team. Just like last year, you kind of got screwed by... He picked Christian McCaffrey last year. He had like the second overall pick, and McCaffrey fell to him. And then McCaffrey couldn't play all season.
Yeah, so let me tell you a story. I'm
Fuck
doing
you,
3
Spencer.
leagues this year. I got the IRL one I've been doing for like the last 8 whatever years. I got a streamer one from a different streaming community that I'm in. I had some PC issues that fucking happened. There we go. About I'm the minute into the draft, so my first 3 picks were auto picks.
Oof.
I was so pissed. Yeah, oof, big time. I got Barkley, which is
Okay, if he
man.
can stay healthy.
Even if he stays healthy, man, the offense, the defense is like all they got to. They're zeroing in on him the whole time.
Yeah. I was going to say that could be different this year because they have Kenny Golladay, but I don't think it will be because Danny Dimes would still have to get them the ball, and I think that'll be a problem.
Yeah. I got Diggs and Allen as well, Josh Allen. So
Okay, having them in tandem's not a bad deal, I don't think. But
nah, my 4th pick that was my last pick that went auto pick, and I was so mad. I got DeAndre Swift with the 4th pick.
oof. Actually, the Lions' offensive line is pretty good.
Would you take Swift over Najee Harris?
Yeah, I actually
Would you take Swift over there was like 3 other dudes too, man.
See, Najee, I don't have a lot of faith in. Yeah, he's going to be the bell cow. The issue is the Steelers' offensive line is bottom tier.
That's true.
So
That is true.
I don't care how many carries he gets. He's going to get blown up in the backfield more times than he actually breaks a run over 5 yards. I'm very confused at why people think the Steelers will be good this year. I see the Steelers as the worst team in that division.
You heard it here, folks.
Do you need my rationale on that? Do you agree? What are your thoughts?
Let's go through the division. What do they got? What's the division? Browns,
Bengals,
definitely not
Browns,
the-
Ravens.
Man, Bengals, man.
Who has the better quarterback?
Who has the better defense?
Anyway,
See,
I got places to be, a face to fix,
Yo,
and
Diner with the 5 bits. I
bad guys
appreciate
to
it.
kill.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers over the Bengals on that.
I can't do it, man. Yeah, the Steelers do have a better defense, but their offense is going to be so bad.
We'll see, man. I'm not quite sure. I mean, Claypool, Juju on the outside. They're gonna go run heavy as usual.
Appreciate
We'll
ya.
see, man. I don't know, man. I mean, as usual,
Anyway,
they got a really balanced
I got
offense,
places to be,
actually.
Yo,
The
face to
receivers get a
another
lot of
fix, and
touchdowns.
bad guys to kill.
The biggest issue with the Steelers is Big Ben.
Mhm.
I can throw the
Same
ball
with
farther
Burrow
right.
and the Bengals, though.
No, because Burrow showed us he was good last year. Burrow
Are
played
you worried about
great.
his injury?
No.
Mm.
Honestly, the only thing he needs to do is he's playing in the preseason game tonight or whenever they play their next preseason game. He's actually playing. He just needs to get hit once, the same way Alex Smith did, the same way every person who has a knee injury does.
Mhm.
Get people around your feet once, realize that your knee is fine, and you'll be fine. It's all a mental thing of you're worried that it's going to get hurt again. But once you actually get out there and once you get hit, you realize, okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're good. Let's go play football. That's what's going to happen. And I'm glad he's actually getting a preseason game and not just trying to do it week 1. He'll be great by week 1. He'll be ready to go.
You're high on Burrow, huh?
No, actually.
Oh.
I just, to me, he is a peak like top 12 quarterback. He could be good enough to win a bunch of games, maybe a Super Bowl, but he's never going to be Patrick Mahomes. He's never going to be even Josh Allen. But I think he will be a very good quarterback. I think the Bengals need to actually build him an offensive line. That would help. They've given him good weapons.
Who would you compare him to?
Honestly, he's a little too tall for it, but the way he plays is... It reminds me a lot of Drew Brees. Very accurate. Good enough arm. I know we're talking a lot about arm strength. Not very mobile.
You're so fucking hooked on arm strength, bro.
Well, when you're talking about quarterbacks, that's one of like the 4 most important pillars. It's probably the least important of the 4, but it's a big one. It doesn't decide everything. You can have a weak arm and still be good. You can have the best arm in the NFL and be bad.
You could be a Jamarcus Russell.
Right? You could be. But I think it's easier to play the position if you have a good arm. There's a lot more things you can get away with than if your arm is weak and can't do anything.
Yeah.
But I think his pocket presence is good. He's just not mobile. And you don't have to be, but with as bad as their offensive line is, it would help.
Mm-hmm.
But Judo, how you doing, Hey Bear? But what are your thoughts on Burrow?
I dig him. He's a solid quarterback. You don't have to be Pat Mahomes though. That's the thing, you know.
Right.
Drew Brees certainly wasn't.
Right.
But he had a long, steady career, Hall of Fame career.
Anyway, I got places to be.
No wonder with the 100 biddies. I appreciate you.
Bad guys to
bro.
kill.
I'm a fan of him.
Yeah.
Who you like better, him or Baker?
Baker.
Bro.
Yeah. Okay. Take the personality stuff out of it, right? If I told you there was an NFL team who went 1-31 in 2 years, they bring in this guy, right, who breaks every rookie record and leads them to a winning season his first year. And then comes out, has a pretty decent year in his second year. In his third year, takes him to the playoffs and wins a playoff game. And he led them to a winning record 1 year after they went 0-16. You'd be high as hell on that guy. It's just the personality stuff that people don't like.
I think that's what I like most about him.
Right. I love that he's like that. I don't think he'd be the player he is if he didn't act the way he acts. He's so sure of everything he does. He's sure he's the best player on the football field every time he's out there.
Yeah, well, it's time for him to pay up because that dude's got the most talent around him than any other.
Yeah. They're definitely going to be a playoff team. They're probably going to win their division. It all depends on what their luck's like.
It's time for him to pay up because like he's had the most talented cast around him than any of these young quarterbacks that's come out in a while. Well, yeah. Kyler, never mind.
No,
take it back.
His isn't that great. He just got DeAndre.
Just DeAndre.
Okay,
I wish.
Best receiver in the NFL, but it's still just one guy.
True that.
Where Baker has OBJ, Jarvis Landry, David Njoku, Austin Hooper, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, the best offensive line in football. There's a big difference there.
Yeah.
But the other thing with Baker is he's performed the way he has with having 4 different coaches in 3 years.
Nah. What was the dude's name? The coordinator that they promoted? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah, Freddie Kitchens. That's kind of like the same deal, but still, yeah.
But yeah, 4 different coaches because he had Hugh Jackson, whatever. Not Hugh Jackman. That's Wolverine. So you
Forget
had
that
Hugh,
guy.
right? And then Greg Williams. Is that right? He was the Jets
Interim.
defensive coordinator. He was also the
Interim.
Yeah. And then that's still 2 head coaches in 1 year. And
Yeah,
then
but
Freddie Kitchens the next year.
All those, but those 3 coaches were all basically Freddie Kitchens.
Sure. And then he finally got Kevin Stefanski, who is actually good at coaching football. Actually, Greg Williams wasn't that bad. I just hate him, but it is what it is. He's the reason Bountygate exists, and Bountygate is the reason the Vikings don't have a Super Bowl ring. So, hate the guy.
I get you. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't care. He could be the best coach ever. I still would rather have Adam Gase than Greg Williams. Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Fuck
Hell
that
no.
guy. Fuck that guy.
Hell no. No, you didn't have Adam Gase under your team. You don't know.
That's true. I've had Mike Zimmer. We've had a good coach. Sorry.
Jeez.
Big Mike Zimmer guy.
All right, but I got a question.
Okay.
I have a buddy of mine. He's asking me a question today, and I was like, are you a fan of Hard Knocks?
I find it interesting, but I don't know. It's not a show where it's like, oh, I missed an episode. Whatever will I do? It doesn't really matter because by the time the episodes come out, you've already seen everything that is going to show up on the show.
Do you think it's the teams that they pick, or is it the show?
What do you mean?
Do you think they pick? Do you think that if they pick better teams to feature on that show, it'd make it better?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a better team than the Cowboys to pick for that show. There is always drama with the Cowboys. It's always a very interesting thing to hear about the Cowboys. Because Jerry Jones is a fucking psycho. And so it's funny. But, I mean, would you be more interested if it was the Jets?
I've already had that, and it was a good season. That Rex Ryan Hard Knocks was classic.
That's right.
Well, allude to my question. What do you think if the NBA adopted the same thing? Would you be interested in it?
No.
Not at all? Why not?
Because the NBA, unlike the NFL, is so public. You know who 90% of players are. Every team has a 15-man roster. You probably know the 10 men who will actually play on each roster. You see them on social media way more than you see NFL players. There's no point. I don't think it would add anything to the NBA at all. Whereas with Hard Knocks in the NFL, you're seeing the full 90-man roster and getting to meet players that you may never have heard of before because there's just so many in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a good point. The undrafted receiver stories are always a good one. Undrafted
rookies,
position players. Yeah, rookies. Yeah, that's always a good to see if they make the team.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I said no to that as well. It'd be like a special circumstance. I'd want to see it.
Right.
I would love to see like a Hard Knocks of the Lakers when they had Kobe. I think that would be hella interesting.
Sure.
Just like I would like to see it's kind of like Jordan, like that Last Dance documentary.
Sure.
I think that would be good. Like like with that roster and that dynamic with Rodman and Pippen, that was a real interesting show.
Yeah.
Documentary. I think that would be good, but I mean, I think that if they did the way they picked the teams for this shit, it'd be like the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant and some other dudes that nobody. I don't know, man. It'd be something like that along those lines. It just, even if it was LeBron and the Lakers, I still wouldn't really have much interest.
No, because that's another thing. Everything in the NBA is so public anyways. You don't need Hard Knocks to see what's going on with LeBron and the Lakers. Just open Twitter. It's all there. It's fine. but if we're switching to NBA stuff,
Go ahead.
where's Ben Simmons going?
Wasn't he Golden State, right?
That's a rumor. There are lots of rumors. Apparently, even Minnesota's a rumor. I don't want to see that happen, but it's a rumor. And actually, Minnesota, Golden State, those would actually be decent places for Ben Simmons.
Do you think he's gone for sure?
Oh, he hasn't picked up a phone call from anyone at the Philadelphia 76ers in 6 months. He's done. He won't play for that team again.
No, I'm aware of that, but I mean, like, that contract's pretty massive to move. His stock is low. His skills are what they are.
Yeah, the issue is the Sixers are still going to be trying for the trades that they almost had a year ago. Like the James Harden trade that they had basically done. I don't know what happened with that. You're not getting a James Harden level player for Ben Simmons at this point. You're not getting 5 picks and a young guy for him. You're going to have to take an expiring contract like or just a big contract like an Andrew Wiggins. You're going to have to take that. And then maybe you'll get a young guy and maybe you'll get a pick. Like, I think the Warriors could give the best offer. Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and a pick. But James Wiseman doesn't fit the 76ers team at all. They already have Joel Embiid. So
Wiseman's that's the young dude though.
I think the Warriors have already given up on him. Lately, teams give up on young guys in basketball way too quickly.
Way fast, bro. Oh, it's only been a year. That dude's like a year into that dude was in high school 3 years ago.
He's not even in his 20s yet, but we're already ready to run him out of town. It's like, give him some time. A lot of players weren't the best player in the world at 18. Chill out. Not everyone can be LeBron or Dwight Howard or, Kevin Garnett. Chill. Reel it in.
That's what happens, man. Like, these drafts are like so based on potential.
Yeah.
Like, and I hate that. It's like, it makes it like I couldn't tell you like hardly any of the guys I just don't even follow the NBA like that no more. Like, I don't think you follow the NBA, right?
Yeah, not like that though. I don't know everybody who's getting drafted. I don't.
First pick of the draft, Cade Cunningham. What do you think of him? I'm not impressed.
I refuse to believe in Summer League.
He'll get his numbers, but
people said the same thing with Trae Young a couple years ago, though. He looked bad in Summer League, and it was, well, he'll be an empty stats guy. He just led his team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, I thought Trae Young would be dope. I knew him and
Steph Curry in the Summer League looked awful. Became the greatest shooter of all time. LeBron James in Summer League looked terrible. Became the best or the second best player of all time, whichever one you want to pick. So, Summer League means nothing to me. Oh, I 100% believe LeBron's the GOAT, but there are people who want to argue he's not top 10. So,
no, that's crazy.
Right? It's like he's 1 or 2, and Jordan's 1 or 2. You pick one.
What do you base that on, though? Stats?
No.
What?
Okay, my argument for it has always been a lot of things. If you look at stats, yeah, LeBron's better at everything. It's not close. But that's not a good argument. But the thing is, in the same amount of seasons, LeBron was better at everything anyways. Now he's just pulling away because he's playing longer, sure.
More seasons, different era.
Sure. Different era where basketball players aren't just off-duty plumbers. LeBron's era is better. Nobody in the league in 1995 was Kevin Durant, or even close. But my biggest thing is actually the argument that people made for Jordan. After Jordan's first three-peat, he got a statue put up of him in Chicago saying the greatest to ever do it. At the time, he hadn't accomplished everything Kareem had accomplished. he hadn't accomplished everything that even
Or
Magic
titles.
and Bird had accomplished. Any of it. But he won the three-peat, and everyone in the world said that's the greatest basketball player I've ever seen. That's how I view this. Sure, does LeBron have 6 rings? No, that's more of a team thing than a single player thing, but whatever.
In a lot challenging more era too. In an era where players didn't do super teams
Right.
and
Right. See, and the other thing is, the reason Jordan's 6-0 is the best competition he faced was in the East, where he was. So he either would lose in the first round or he'd make the finals. The toughest competition was from his own side, and he had an easier finals. Whereas for LeBron, the toughest competition was in the West. So he'd cakewalk the East because they weren't good teams, get to the finals, and then, oh my God, it's the Warriors. Oh my God, it's the Spurs. The only year there's an actual argument for LeBron choked and didn't do good enough was 2011, the Mavericks finals. Shouldn't have lost that. That's fair. But every other one, it's like the other team has been better every time.
it's a different era, bro. Super teams have like drastically changed everything.
Oh yeah.
If LeBron played all his years with Cleveland, I don't.
He wouldn't. He'd have 1 ring. Probably.
You could probably get 2.
I don't think so.
How did he get that 1 ring?
See, he wouldn't have if he, because he left Cleveland and then they were able to draft Kyrie.
Yeah.
And then they
good point.
traded for Kevin Love, and then he came back and they won a ring.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have been able to draft Kyrie.
True that.
They
True
might
that.
have been able to trade for Kevin Love, but I don't think LeBron and Kevin Love's enough to beat the Warriors. If he stayed on the Cavs, he'd be lucky to have 1 ring. Because
You got to make those comparisons when you compare him to the real GOAT.
oh, Jordan's your GOAT.
Oh yeah, easily.
So because Jordan was on a team that could draft better,
That's not the reason. I'm saying that's a factor.
that's 100% the only reason. That
Hey, what do you
there's
mean
an
draft
argument.
better? Who did they draft good?
Scottie Pippen.
That was a draft day trade, actually. But yeah.
Still, the Cavs never did that for LeBron. LeBron's best player in his first 7 years when he was with the Cavs was Mike Bibby. So that's not even close when it comes to the players. If Jordan was in a situation like what LeBron was in, he would have left too. I promise.
Mm.
But my biggest thing is if you swap like the eras of LeBron and Jordan, you put LeBron in the 90s.
Oh my God, Jordan would go off.
No, he
Wouldn't even
wouldn't.
be close. Yes,
Okay.
he would. In this
Jordan
this
can't
era,
shoot. He'd put up the
Jordan
same amount
can't
of points.
shoot. What are you talking about?
His 3-point percentage is terrible. The only year it was actually near league average was the year they moved the 3-point line in 2 feet.
That's not what I'm talking about. When you think this era is a 3-pointer shot, three ball era, is that what you think?
Right
The way
now,
that-
absolutely.
Bro, look at Harden. Look
Oh,
what Harden's doing in this league.
3-point shooter. Got it.
Okay, no. With his ability to get to the line, the way defenses can't play, you can't hand check, like all these other things that like come into factor. Like Jordan would just tear it up, man,
Again,
easily.
The defenders now are better than they were back then, though. The
Were they?
athletes now are better than they were back then, though. And that's
You're
that you can't
acting as
argue.
if we're comparing generations, like it's like
Sure.
the 50s.
But you also are going to be the guy who pretends that LeBron, who would be bigger, faster, and stronger than everyone in the league in the 90s, wouldn't be able to dominate. He absolutely would.
I didn't say he would do that stuff. I'm just saying,
I'm just basing it off of
how about
every
this
argument.
side? How
every
about the
Jordan
mental
has makes.
side of the game? That how about the mental side to just dominate and just like destroy your opponent? Nobody did that better than Jordan or Kobe.
Okay. So
mean,
LeBron's weak mentally, apparently?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, there's little things that are like, there's little intricacies that are like, that are that aren't just outside, that are outside the stat box. You know, like the championship thing is that's whatever. I didn't even bring that up.
No.
6 rings compared to bronze.
Again, and I already, but no, my point was, if you put Jordan in the situation LeBron was in and LeBron in the situation Jordan was in, right? If Jordan played in the Western Conference, right, during that time, he wouldn't have as many rings.
How you figure?
Because he'd be in the tougher bracket, right?
The West was tougher then?
Oh, wait. I just totally mixed that up in my own head. Hold on. So LeBron plays in the weakest, like for most of his rings, played in the weakest side of the NBA.
Yeah.
So it was a cakewalk for him to get to the finals. Then he would play his toughest competition. Jordan played his toughest competition first. So he played his toughest competition in the East, and then it was a cakewalk in the finals because those weren't great teams. He had to face the great teams to get to the finals.
Lakers. He beat the Lakers.
Yeah, when Magic was old and Kareem was old and everyone was old and washed.
Washed? I don't know
Just
about
like
washed.
he didn't beat the Celtics until they were all old and washed. When Larry Bird was still playing well, Jordan couldn't beat him. Because one guy can't do everything. But what I'm saying is he played his toughest competition in his own conference.
But they didn't come up the same time, bro. Like the Bird came into the league just like Magic, and the Celtics and the Lakers won right away.
Yeah.
I think Jordan's rookie year was 84.
Yeah.
That's a 4-year gap right there. Like he's behind them. So
Sure.
yeah, he didn't when they were at their peak.
But
same with Detroit. They did go through
Jordan also
Detroit as well.
didn't make it out of the first round until 1991 when he had another Hall of Famer on his team. LeBron, with Mike Bibby as his second best player, made the NBA Finals. Jordan never did that. Jordan never truly carried a team. He always had, in any time he won, he had at least one other Hall of Famer. His second three-peat, he had at least 2 others, because Rodman. Maybe 3, I can't remember. But if it was a third, the third one was last legs. I'm not really going to count it, but I don't know. People still try to count Ray Allen as, one of the best players in the league when he was on the Heat. He wasn't. He was a great shooter, but he was also 36. It was his final year. That's not the same.
As well, I saw a thing today where it was like a little image that said if Ray Allen missed that one shot versus the Spurs, he'd
Duncan would have the same finals record as Kobe.
You saw
LeBron
that?
would be
Yeah.
3-7. Yeah. That one shot was huge.
Oh shit, dude, that's huge on LeBron's legacy so much.
Oh, yeah.
That one fucking shot.
Oh yeah, that would have changed a lot of stuff. And honestly, that was huge the other way for Tim Duncan's legacy, I think. If he was 6-0 in the finals, the same as Jordan, I think the conversation around him would be very different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We could argue LeBron and Jordan all day. I don't think either of us will ever change their minds. So it is what it is. At least you're not a psychopath who tries to argue that he's not top 10 and he's not clutch.
No,
he's a terrible
that's
player.
Crazy.
It's like, dude,
That's crazy.
no, they're 1 and 2, or if you want to say it, 1A and 1B, and you take your pick of which one you think is better. It's all personal opinion. Because there's no way we'll ever know. Just like in 20 years, there's probably going to be a guy who is better than LeBron. And 20 years after that, there'll be a guy that's better than that guy. And it will always come down to the generations argument.
I'm really not. Yeah, probably. I'm really not impressed with any of these young guys in the league right now. Like, there's nobody that's wowing me.
I love Luka, but He can't
Oh
shoot.
well, yeah, Luca. I like Luca. I like Trey.
But they're not.
don't.
I don't see them on that same level as a LeBron or a Jordan, or even a Kobe. I don't think any of them can be that.
I like Luca a lot. I like Trey a lot. I like them both a lot. I feel bad for. Holy crap! What's the dude on the Pelicans?
Oh, Zion.
Yeah, Zion. See, that's how much I'm like out of touch with the NBA. Like I forget their names.
Because it's
Zion.
tough.
It's just. I mean, I follow the Lakers. That's about it.
Right.
I do watch college ball though. Like I said, that's what I was talking about. I'm not that high on Cade Cunningham, the first pick in the draft. Like he'll be he'll get his 20, and but anyways, yeah, like I feel like Zion's on his way out.
Oh, absolutely. The Pelicans are
doing nothing for that
franchise.
guy. Yeah, they're doing nothing.
When they
for
do
that
make
guy.
moves, they don't make smart moves, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
Ooh. So 2 NBA money related things that I want your thoughts on. Dennis Schroeder turning down a 3 years, $84 million, or 4 years, whatever it was, $84 million contract, and signing a 1 year, $4 million with the Celtics. Thoughts on that?
Well, I was hearing recently that wasn't even confirmed. But he played himself. That's what I feel like.
I get it. You want to think of
yeah,
yourself as $100 million man, but
I mean, maybe if he performed, the dude, I really felt like he kind of like phoned it in this year.
oh yeah,
It was a
if he had a
contract year.
playoff run the way Reggie Jackson did for the Clippers, he might have got $100 million.
Yeah, I feel like he phoned this year in, and I mean, he actually did the Lakers a favor by not taking that money because they actually made out pretty well without.
They really did.
But yeah, I mean, he played himself, man, and he took a gamble on himself, and it didn't pay off. So
it's still good, and maybe he balls out this year and gets $100 million next year. But I'm gonna go with probably not.
I'm gonna go with that too.
And then the other money-related thing, Nerlens Noel is suing Clutch Sports.
I heard about that. What's the deals on that? What's the details?
So full details.
Like 50-some million, I heard.
Yeah, $58 million. Because back in 2016, I believe, 2017, Nerlens Noel, who was not part of Clutch Sports and was not represented by Rich Paul, that's important, was at a party, and Rich Paul told Nerlens Noel that if he was his client, Rich could get him a $100 million contract. So Nerlens Noel turned down the $84 million contract from the Mavericks, signed a 1-year deal with the Mavericks still for $4 million, the same as Dennis Schroeder, then fired his agent, then signed Rich Paul, got himself hurt so he couldn't get that big contract. And now,
I like this thing.
Judo with the gifted sub, I appreciate it. And now that we're 4 years out of that, he wants to sue for that money that he missed way back then. The issue, again, Rich Paul wasn't your agent. You took advice from somebody who you don't work with or for Rich Paul at that point. That mistake is on you. It's on you anyways. You are the player. Agents don't make the decisions for you. They give you the options. You got to make that decision.
I'm sure there's some sort of disclaimer too that says that.
Right. Like, it makes
that
no
protects
sense
the agent.
to me.
Yeah.
Biggest thing, Rich Paul wasn't his agent. So,
Rich Paul seems like a smart dude too, so.
Oh yeah, Rich Paul has done great.
Pretty savvy dude. It doesn't sound like something like even in a court that would hold up.
Oh, I don't think it will.
But
we'll see.
Hey, you know what you just reminded me of? This is kind of off topic, but it's money related. I was watching a clip on Money from Dr. Disrespect about how he's going to be potentially he's in litigation, or not much is out. He's like suing Twitch right now for damages lost, wages and damages lost from going over to YouTube, because of all the things that the contract, the 6-figure contract that he was in, which would be expiring next month. So he'd be at that point where he'd be negotiating at his next one. How being on YouTube, monetization isn't the same, even for like a high-end streamer like himself. Right. And then you talk about how and I've never really paid attention to this, how you can't like collab with other streamers like Nick Merckx or anything like that.
Yep.
I never knew they couldn't do that.
It's if anyone gets banned. If I got banned on Twitch, I could not appear on your stream.
So even if you're on another platform?
Yep. My voice couldn't be on your stream. The other interesting thing is people have actually gotten in trouble with Twitch for just talking about Doc.
Yo, I've seen somebody do that. Somebody did a cosplay of that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, and I'm glad I saw that, because I legit was thinking about doing a stream on Halloween as Dr. Disrespect. Good thing.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Maybe pull out the blue hair and the headband and ninja.
No, we weren't gonna do that. I said it was a thought, but yeah, that's wild, huh?
It's interesting.
That's like weird, man. Like you can't even talk about it.
So that actually segues me into something. I tweeted it out last night. So there are a lot of issues happening with Twitch right now, just in general. A lot of things that aren't great. Would you ever consider leaving Twitch and going to YouTube or Facebook or Trovo or any of that?
No, never.
Why?
All platforms are going to have some sort of problems, whether it be, the most recent one with Twitch. Like Twitch has always got something going on. Twitch is in the spotlight. They're the main platform. Look at one of the top 1% streamer in Dr. Disrespect. How much it's affected his life by leaving Twitch. You can come over here, not even just money, man. These guys are all getting, like, he would easily get 50, 60,000 people watching his streams over here too. Mm-hmm. It's just like, then the sponsors, like, there's just like everything's got its own issues. I just think that, like, for me personally, like, this is my goal to be on this platform. I've always wanted to be on Twitch, and then on top of that, there's just more opportunities here for me. It's just, I feel like you got to like pick your battles with what's going on. I don't think that going to, my personal opinion, streaming live on YouTube would, especially for a small streamer, would be the play. And then coming off a Mixer and what that did to everybody, I don't know, going to Trovo and trying to invest yourself there would be a good play either.
I don't think investing in a small platform like that, this sounds terrible, but I don't think it would work out. Look at Glimish. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I heard so much about Glimish. Nobody uses it anymore. To be fair, when it came out, nobody actually did use it. I went to Glimish a couple of times when it first came out.
Sort of.
Well, I know some people who went and tried to stream there, but if you'd go to Glimish, there'd be 7 people streaming and a total of 12 viewers between all of them.
Yeah.
You can't rely on a platform that the only people that are going to be on it are other streamers. That's not going to work out. That was one of the biggest issues with Mixer, is the majority of the audience was also the streamers.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Trovo and Mixer are kind of similar, and it didn't feel authentic being on Mixer. That's just I'm not gonna like bash it or anything. There's a lot of great things about Mixer. It just didn't feel authentic, man. If I went on it like 2 a.m. my time to do a stream, like, because during COVID I had that opportunity to just stream any hour of the day.
Right.
Everybody's asleep for the most part, so I go online and then boom, auto hosts just pop up like nothing. True. It's just, it wasn't authentic. I was streaming to like, I was getting like, when I was doing those late shifts, I was getting like 60, 70, 80 averages on streams because
Oh yeah, my
a lot of
average
hosts.
was like 57 or something.
See what I'm saying? So it just didn't feel authentic. I know Trouble's got a little something similar with that, like when you can tab somebody, just bounce, like it's an authentic
Oh yeah,
view.
Twitch you can technically only tab, I think, 2 people.
3. Oh, I thought it was 3.
I think it's only technically 2.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, but I mean, not to bash it or anything like that. I think the other thing with this thing is like, I feel like there's a home for everybody, and everybody it applies differently. Some people like Trovos for you. I could say what I just said, and Trovos for you, or even Glimish. Well, I can't even say that.
Yeah,
Glimish
no, I
isn't
can't say
even...
Glimish wasn't for Glimish. But so my biggest thing, right, is when I left Twitch to go to Mixer, it was already because I had so many problems with this platform in general. Mixer ended. All of the people I already knew, all of my community, just came to Twitch automatically. I hadn't made my decision where I was going to go yet, but I can go back and look. I gained like 200 followers on Twitch the day Mixer shut down because everybody just assumed I was coming back here.
Yeah,
so,
see.
Because I think my choice might have been YouTube. Twitch, it's easier to get to the ground floor affiliate level than it is to reach the ground floor of YouTube partner. But I'd honestly say if I could actually truly hit YouTube partner in less than a year, I would probably switch to YouTube right now.
I mean,
my biggest issue is just alienating some of my community who would rather use Twitch than use YouTube.
You ever watch live streams on YouTube?
Yeah, actually I do.
You do? Huh. It's just really, I've tried that. It's just not.
Oh, it's definitely not the same as Twitch.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to streaming, you should just, and it's best this way too, like not to have all your eggs in one basket, like to to tackle in different platforms for, different various.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like
different money streams, different just platforms in general are great.
Yeah, live streaming, like Twitch is the best, I feel. I don't get the whole, like, it's such a big ocean on Twitch, and it's like you get swallowed up and there's no discoverability. I feel like that doesn't hurt me at all. I feel like it benefits me being on Twitch compared to any other platform. I tackle a new game, and I talk about this. I play a new game and I get different communities coming in. I see friends that tackle certain games specifically only, and there's some really cool communities on here. And so I feel like Twitch is for me for live streaming, but I feel like I'm still young, man. This whole streaming stuff and content creating thing, like, I feel like in general people don't understand, and they're such in a rush to like grow, and like if you just like enjoy yourself and just take your time and find yourself, like you'll see, like, like I haven't even done anything with YouTube. You're more experienced than I am.
Oh yeah. I've been grinding YouTube longer than I've been grinding streaming and stuff. YouTube was where I started everything.
Yeah, see? So I mean that's the other thing too. Like, that's a whole other discussion. Some of these people that are taking out fast, people don't take into account that they've got help. Right. Like, that's a big thing in streaming is help. Yep. A team that helps you with like a lot of shit, man. Like, you think Nick Merckx, whatever, like, dude, that dude's a team, man. That dude just like,
I wish I could be Nick Merckx or Tim the Tap Man, where all I had to do was sit here and play video games.
Yeah, man, you got a graphic artist. You got your graphic artist. You got everybody uploading stuff to Twitch, looking up the algorithms, when to do that, editing. You got a social media manager. You got all these things that a smaller streamer who has to also juggle has to also juggle work or IRL, like it's just a lot. And like, I don't think that people think about that. And some of these people that are probably even on their same level that are doing better, and that they're like they've got help. That's why. That's a big reason. That's a huge reason. I'm a one-man team.
Same.
Like,
well, I guess I have somebody else do my graphics for me because I don't know how to do it. But
I mean, yeah. But
I mean,
yeah,
I do my streams, I upload all my videos, I edit all my videos, I record them all. I do all the research on, okay, what's the best time to post YouTube videos? What's the best time to post TikTok videos? How is the algorithm responding? What colors do I need to put in the thumbnail for it to be more clicked on this week?
Yeah, see? Oh, that shit.
Those are things that Tim the Tatman, Ninja, those big dudes, they never have to care about. They just get to play video games.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool point to be at, but you don't.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't just want to jump straight to that point either. I think the building everything up.
They all earn that. I give him that though. They all earn that.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
Like those are pioneers in the game. But I'm just saying, like, more so people on our level or a little bit higher. Those are the folks I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's a big boost to your stream, and which enables like more attention on other avenues that you're branching out with your content.
Right.
So,
right. I mean,
it's a little overwhelming if you really think about it too.
It would be, I mean, think of how nice it would be though to the only thing you have to worry about is playing the video games and then just coming up with the idea for what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to do this kind of YouTube video. Cool. Just go play the game until you get it, and somebody else will handle every other part of it.
You're just the face of a well-oiled machine.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why certain people have always very much impressed me with what they do. Like, for up until I think last year, like Jacksepticeye did everything on his own. Edited, recorded, streamed. All of his stuff was all just him. To me, that's always a super impressive thing. When you can get to be that big, doing as much stuff as he does, and it's all just you, that's always cool to me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because I know how much fucking work it actually takes to do that. And I'm sure Tim the Tatman does too. I'm sure at one point in his life he was there. But
I mean, and that's the other thing too, is like, you don't have, there's just so much you don't like to be a presence on social media. It's important for a small streamer to be on social media, be a presence and be relevant on there. But for the bigger streamers, they can just punch in one time and they're good,
Right.
But that's why I respect somebody like Nick Merckx. That dude's got a great community. He's very engaging with this community, and yeah. So
lately, so have you heard the latest terrible things going on with Twitch? All the hate raids and stuff?
Yeah, of course. I've had to block those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As soon as when I see a tweet about a hate raid and see those names, I go block them automatically.
Yeah, there's actually one I got written down. I gotta go. There's a new one I saw today.
Yep. I don't want it to ever have to be a thing that I have to deal with in the middle of stream. I did get follow botted the other day. That was pretty terrible.
What did you do? You just went to what, emote only? Or
so no. That would have been smart. I switched it to sub only right away. Emote might have been smarter, but I switched it to sub only. I had to turn off my bot though and all my alerts. And then yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody should look into that. Like the route to go, because such a bomb dropped on you.
It's tough, especially since Twitch can punish you for that.
Yeah,
which is so fucked. Like, somebody else follow bots me and I get in trouble for buying followers. It's like, but I didn't.
Yeah. How many hit your account?
That day, I think it was 300.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Did they reduce it yet? Did they
Yeah,
clean it off?
it actually got fixed like that same stream.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know if the guy who was doing it got banned. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it fixed that same day, which was great. So I didn't have to deal with that for long. It was a tough rest of that stream though.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be participating on that upcoming day off of Twitch?
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I think I am.
So my issue with it, I'm trying to find what day it was supposed to be again.
I think it's a Wednesday, and it's like the first. I don't know. I gotta look at it
That's
again.
why it's an issue.
Oh, because
Because
your
Wednesday's
podcast.
podcast day.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what I might do? Because I've wanted to try it for a really long time.
Let's try a different day.
No. Try streaming the podcast directly to YouTube.
That's a good time to
Just
do
the
it.
podcast specifically. Because for me, it would save me the time of having to upload the podcast on the YouTube channel. And it would kind of, having the podcast in its own place might just be better. I don't know. It's something I've wanted to test, and this might be the perfect time to test it. You know? So.
Yeah.
And I mean, day off Twitch, September 1st. Which, yeah, that's next week, actually. So I'm going to have to think that one through. Might do it, though.
Yeah, I think I am. So.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you wanted to get to this week?
No, I love talking sports.
For sure.
It's always a good time talking sports. You know, it's a good. Well, you know, football's ramping up right now, so it's always cool to cover some football. Talk a little schmack with Zach Wilson. Cover a little Madden. But I'm sure, like, you know, as the time rolls on, like, there'll be topics that arise that are
Oh, for sure. For sure.
current.
I'm just
Well,
hoping.
yeah.
I'm kind of hoping we don't get another 3-hour-long episode like we did last time you were on.
Oh, my bad. How long
No,
have we been on?
That was great. This week, an hour and
Oh, okay.
15 minutes, 20 minutes. That's why
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush. It's just
Yeah.
that one
Yeah,
was tough. 3-hour podcasts. I don't know if those are the best way to do it.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Yeah.
That's a little on the lengthy side, I think.
Sure was. That one, it flew though.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize it had been that long while we were doing it. It was when we got done. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's keep it like this. I think just gives us more room for next time.
Well, Judo, I appreciate you coming back on the podcast.
Anytime.
Appreciate everyone who came out, showed support during the stream. But I think that'll do it for us. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.